Okay, so Gypsies and Travellers Wales secured funding from Big Lottery to run an employment and skills building project for Gypsy traveller communities in Cardiff. And the project started in November 2017 with one permanent staff member, that's me. And the idea is that we engage with the community, we get to know what kind of things people are looking for in the world of work or training, what skills people have and how we can enhance those skills, and provide links to opportunities that already exist with training providers in the wider community. The project runs weekly programme of activities across a range of locations, so on both the local authority sites in Cardiff and also in community outreach buildings. We run a job club. We run one-to-one basic skills tuition with our tutor, and we also offer driving theory lessons, which are really popular amongst young people. We also run an introduction to working with Gypsies and Travellers training to local authority staff teams and other professionals. It is challenging in terms of engaging different communities in Cardiff. We've got people living on sites, but we've also got people living in housing across the city, so we try and be in as many places as we possibly can. Having presence on both the local authority sites has been really helpful, because it's one of the most important things is getting to know people and getting to know individuals and what their needs are, which we then are able to take on and tailor the project to. The way in which we engage most people actually is through the driving theory lessons, which is something the community really wanted. It's something Gypsies and Travellers Wales ran historically and was a feature of the project from the off. So we get really good engagement with young people through that, which is a foot in the door to families.
We have people as young as 12, 13 wanting to come in. We have let 14, 15-year-olds in because we don't want to lose their engagement, because they will come to us when they're 16 and learn their theory test with us. Gareth's done a lot of work with them, asking what they would like to be put on for their age group. And they've given us lots of ideas, and hence we've set up the youth club. So yeah, we're trying to bridge that gap so that there's something for those younger people to do as well at the moment.
Word of mouth is definitely your best friend in this community, and once people have got something from the project, like passing their driving theory test, it's a good foot in the door for other people to say, oh yeah, you helped our boy or our girl, and yeah, they'll give us a shot then. Because the organisation does a lot of support, supporting people with navigating the benefit system, it can be around things like IT skills or basic literacy, so making sense of forms or support to apply for putting kids into school coming up in September, or people have got a letter, they've got something they need to understand, they'll come to us. Because it's not like a linear putting people on a course. It's, that doesn't work necessarily for the community, because if you've been out of education for any long period of time, coming back into it, it's very daunting. And, we are talking about people who've never used a laptop before, or have not much faith or understanding in those kind of systems that we would take for granted. That said, also there are people who have had experiences of education who are looking more to get into work, who come to us with that need of, they've been on the benefit system for a long time, it's not working for them, they want to improve, they want better life choices, really, much the same as anybody else.
So we might expect to come in and help them to learn to read and write, whereas they might not see it that way. They might see it that, for example, I've got one chap coming to me and he just wants to be able to read the paper. So he just wants to be able to read the paper. He's not bothered about learning to write at his age, and he's got arthritis in his hands anyway. Just wants to be able to read the paper. So it's getting to know what their personal motivation is, I think, for coming to you for help, and then just running with that. So there's no one size fits all. Can't just take a program that might have worked out, say in Ely, for example, really well, and try and overlay it here and expect it to have the same results.
The flexibility is the key, and I think it's really important not just for staff, but for when you're putting a project bid together, working with Gypsy and Traveller communities, to think about timescales. Like, really privileged to have a 5-year lifespan on this project, and I feel like it might even be that it takes 4.5 years to get engagement, and in that last half of a year we'll be really busy and things will go off and and build. But I think when you've got short timescales and outcomes in targets to hit, it's worth remembering that time is different for Gypsy Traveller community, and you might get somebody engaging for a bit, but then they're gone, and there are multiple reasons for that, but they might come back later. So being patient and having the room to change and adapt is really important. It depends individual to individual, but by and large you see people's confidence rise, definitely with the driving theory. That's not just a practical skill. When you look at the physical location of sites, geography, it's essential. Both the local authority sites in Cardiff, there are no bus routes. Rover Way, there's not even a pavement or a walkway to get to it, and it's along a really busy A road. So it's an essential skill. So to have that makes a difference. It makes a huge impact on people's lives. In terms of learners who've come on and accessed the basic literacy tuition with Jan, yeah, it's a real. You see the motivation go up because they are achieving. It's the passing the test. The skills are there, and that's the important thing to recognise, is having that additional, being able to be mobile, to get around. It enhances people's existing skills. They can get out and they can get to work, or they can take the kids to and from school, and these are all massively important when you think about the barriers that gypsies and travellers face. Trust doesn't just materialise over the course of a week-long literacy course. It takes real time to get to know people. So I think anyone coming to work should be prepared to be patient and really show genuine interest in individuals and in meeting families and finding out what life is like, so that when the golden opportunity comes up, where there's something you think, oh, that project can meet that need, you've got that understanding with people, and they're kind of willing to buy into whatever it is you're selling, for want of a better term.